wanted Naseta to achieve, because the evidence is out there. The deposition of the registrar of the Chicago State University is a document that is there in the open. The certified true copy has been released to the public. And where do we start from? There is evidence to show that the registrar Westbedge was asked specifically if the certificate that Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to INEC came from them, and he said no. So what did they fact check, and what are they trying to do? I think that is why many people are reacting the way they are reacting, because it is now a question of people fact-checking the fact-checkers, because what has been found out is that what was actually termed to be fact-checking is turned out to be something different altogether.
Yeah, I mean, the of course reactions have been very, pretty bad, to the BBC's fact-checking. What would you say prompted this, and how relevant really is the BBC's fact-checking in the conversation concerning the president's certificate? Because there's been people who have also said, Nigerians should move on. There's no need to continue to go back and forth about this. There are those who, of course, we've interviewed here who said, there's no, once again, there's no need, and the president's already there. We shall allow him run his 4 years, in office, and keep it moving that way. In another 4 years, maybe whoever it is that wants to try can try again. But how relevant is the BBC's report, and why is it even being given this much attention?
Those who say we should move on, that after 4 years, and then we'll get it right. They are not getting it right. And if I may say, I think that is the reason why we are where we are today.
Mm-hmm.
See, the BBC is the British Broadcasting Corporation. In Britain, a Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, was forced to resign because he threw a party during COVID-19 when people were not allowed to be together. He lied about it. He was found out, called out, and he resigned for throwing a party. And we are saying the same BBC is coming to model the water in Nigeria, where it has been, at least from the deposition. And this is somebody giving evidence under oath that the certificate which he submitted was forged. And the definition of forgery is a straightforward thing. When what you claim to be did not originate from the source from which you said it came from. Mm-hmm. It is as simple as that. And look, we are talking about multiple forgeries here. Don't forget, okay, we are only talking about the Chicago State University certificate. Don't forget that when the president was at the Chatham House last year, he did say specifically that he has received his replacement certificate directly, that the Chicago State University sent him the replacement certificate. So from the deposition of the Chicago State University, it turned out that he was lying. And there is no better way to put these things, because if you say what is not true, if you are economical with the truth, you have lied. And when people say this, the government and its agents go out there threatening people and making all manner of accusations. But if you have lied, you have lied. Because we are talking about evidence supplied by the Chicago State University itself under oath, saying that the replacement certificate that the president submitted to INEC did not come from them.
Can I say
In fact,
something?
they say they still
Can I say
have the
something?
copy of.
Yeah, he was just about to say something, which is okay, fine, because I know I keep saying we have all read this deposition because we posted it as a link. In that deposition, there is only one certificate that Chicago State University admitted that they released to someone who is in Nigeria. And that one was not released to any other person except Enahoro Eba. In that deposition, Chicago State University did not point to any other certificate that they released to any Bola A. Tinubu. Chicago State University confirmed in that deposition that the original certificate was never even been up, there was no application for it. It's in the deposition. And Nigerians, I saw, was it Punch? The word Punch carried it. Because they understand that in Nigeria, we don't read the content of a flyer. We just like the flyer to be beautifully designed. And we run with the heading. That is why, even when they review the newspapers here in Nigeria, they come and say, the heading from Punch says so, and the rider, they move on. So what they review is headings, and they go on. This man kept saying it, and my belief is this. These people may be targeting something that we are not even seeing. They are targeting, it is them now that is indirectly harassing the Supreme Court. It is APC that is now indirectly harassing the Supreme Court with their media, with the lies they are pushing out based on their media campaign, with the PR management they are hiring, and everything they are gathering together. They are doing it to stampede the Supreme Court. But I am also waiting, I am waiting for that judgment of the Supreme Court to see how they will spin that document. Because that document is with them. Whatever is said by Moka and Festus Kayamo and co., that document was a document that was presented based on a sworn affidavit. It was, based on the fact that it was under oath. So that statement is approved by the court. Let us see how the court will eventually throw away our Supreme Court, how they will throw away that deposition and buy whatever they have written in BBC. All right, continue.
The I think that July 27th copy of the 1999 certificate. So if they still have it, as again, West Badge said under oath, it then means that even the one the president said that he had and which he lost when he went on exile, again, is not true. So we have layers and layers. Okay, are we talking about the Government College Lagos, from which he said he graduated in 1970, when the school actually was established in 1974? So what are we talking about? The issue is that the president has been caught pants down in layers and layers and layers of being economical with the truth. And if we stretch this to 1999, when the president said he attended one primary school in Ibadan and attended government college in Ibadan, and he was called out And in the 2003 form he submitted to INEC, he refused to fill in his primary school. He left it blank. Secondary school, he left it blank. And that's what impunity does to a people. So to suggest by anybody that this should be allowed to go so that after 4 years we'll get it right. Don't forget, APC also presented us with this same problem when President Muhammadu Buhari also had the same certificate issue. Okay, we let it go. 8 years down the road, has the problem been solved? The answer is no. 8 years down the road, we now have the Tinubu gate, as it were, as some people are now calling it. So from the Buhari,
it appears people in APC, they don't really have.
No, listen. I don't even know what to say. Somebody was cracking a joke the other day and said that the Buhari era was forgery mini. That because we allowed it after 8 years, that is why this one we are talking now is Forgery Pro Max. That we are now on the Forgery Pro Max. Now, let's put it this way, assuming with all due respect that everything checked out, that the certificate given to INEC was authored and issued by Chicago State University. But by mere fact that we found out in his record that it got exposed after, that we got exposed after about 40-something years, that actually a Cambridge certificate that was purported to have been issued in 1970 via Government College, Lagos, which was founded in 1974. Should that not be a very big news? That alone. That alone, that somebody actually forged a school certificate that he used to gain admission into a university. And that the certificate is supposed to have been existing 4 years before the issuer started existing. Should that not be a big news? Why is TVC dodging from mentioning, hyping it? Why is even Arise News not repeating it? Why are they not publishing it as their headline and that certificate? How many media houses, how many print journalism in Nigeria, this day, Punch, Vanguard, carry that GCE certificate as their front page? How many? Certificate issued in 1970 from a school that was founded in 1974. How many? The BBC, the so-called BBC, if they care about credible and healthy evangelism, I say, no, what do you call it? Journalism. Why did they omit that as a very strong point? Will they do it in UK like this man mentioned? If a prime minister is found to have, let me put it this way. Oh, this people is getting me worked up now. You remember the former president of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi? Muammar Gaddafi's first son was studied in London School of Economics for his PhD. Whilst he was here, he was giving a whole lot of donations to a lot of charity body then. When war started in Libya, they went to the guy's record and they said that he plagiarized his thesis. That is his final thesis. That it is not original, that he copied other people. You know what is plagiarism? And London School of Economics withdrew his his PhD. They withdrew his PhD. So he can't parade himself as a doctor today because the issuing body has nullified that. Should Chicago State University not wake up to nullify a certificate if they found out, even if it's after 40 years, that the person entered the school with a false certificate? The question is, why are our media analysts not analyzing like this? So, that is it.
Gate will now have the Tinubu gate. So if we also allow this to go, I can assure you next 4 years or next 8 years, we will now have somebody who never went to anywhere, and there will be precedents. What did he do to Buhari? What did he do to Tinubu? And why must it be me? So we can't allow this to go. That is part of the reason why this country is not making any progress, because we have allowed too many things to go, thinking that it will get better. It never gets better.
All right, Mr. Mechi, I'd like us to look at this article in two folds. First off, from a journalist point of view, do you think that the Nigerian journalists or the press are indeed taking more time to dig into this story for better explanation to Nigerians? That's one. Do you think journalists, the press, are doing enough? Secondly, do you think, I know just yesterday we had talked about the Financial Times story that was published, talking about the current president and how he's going in the past 5 months. Although they also posted with facts and details of how things are going. They focused on the economy. So it's only right for us to also look at another article from the BBC. But do you think that the BBC article should indeed rock the boat of this entire conversation? Or do you think it is infinitesimal? It doesn't really matter?
I have said categorically that that article matters to the extent that I think it is an attempt to model the waters. It is not a credible article, and there is evidence to prove that it's not a credible article. And that evidence is nothing other than what transpired at the Illinois court. There is a deposition which all of us have the certified true copy. And that deposition does not agree with what BBC
published
is putting out there. So to that extent, people should be able to call out that reportage, because personally, I don't think it is true. Whether the Nigerian media is doing enough on this certificate saga issue, my own personal opinion is no, we are not. And I was discussing with somebody the other day, I think that was on Sunday, who said, look, imagine if this shoe was to be on the other foot. Imagine if any other person other than APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu was to be the president today, and Bola Tinubu is in the opposition. All hell would have been let loose by now. So we have a situation where those who know what it takes to protest, those who easily call out people on the street, those who know how to agitate, are the same people who are in government. They control the levers of power in the media. And that is why the voice of so many people, particularly the critical voice of the media, that is why Most of these voices are muted today. You can imagine what happened in 2012 when the then President Goodluck Jonathan removed fuel subsidy. All hell broke loose. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did it from the first day with very, very disastrous consequences, people have moved on and the economy has virtually collapsed. So, to answer your question straight, I don't think that the media is doing enough. And that is a very, very sad commentary on the media. We should be able to have the courage to call out whoever else without minding whose us is God. And the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, submitted a forged certificate to INEC, and he must be called out. And we can't allow it to go. We can't afford to sweep the matter under the carpet, because if we do that, Nigeria will be worse for it.
Well, I think it's still fair to say allegedly concerning the allegations of forgery.
I think we have not
Yes.
just before we go, need I still remind Nigerians that the same person swore an affidavit in 1998 that he attended University of Chicago and obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in economics. That he later then, after graduating from University of Chicago, he transited to Chicago State University, where he got Bachelor of Science in Business and Administration. Why are these things not being called out? Why is it being suppressed and censored? Why? It's deliberate. I think we'll call it a night here today, okay?
Thank you very much. So viewers, we all heard it. He said, this is a journalist too. He said it pump and plain that he submitted a forged certificate, and we must call him out. We can't just sweep this under the carpet. Otherwise, it will continue. We had it during the time of Buhari, and people like Festus Keyamo, they came out to defend Buhari. Today, again, you can see them, struggling with this one. They just want to cover up everything, and they want Nigerians to keep quiet. Somebody posted on Twitter, somebody made a video and posted it on Twitter yesterday. He was like, if it were to be Peter Obi that was dragging Tinubu, just like Atiku has been going to the United States all this while, that they would have asked the Igbos in Lagos to leave Lagos. The person made this video, even before Peter Obi came out to give his press conference. So he was like, if it were to be Peter Obi that was playing this role of Atiku, it would have been something else. And we now saw Peter Obi, when he came out, he made his statement. There was no incitement. He made just plain statement. Just come out and reintroduce yourself. In case you've changed your name, tell Nigerians you have, and under what situation, under what circumstances. That was just what Peter Obi said. And we've seen it all over the places, calling out Peter Obi. Peter Obi did this, Peter Obi did this. You just see that these people, they are just, I don't even know, as if it was something wrong, if there is anything wrong in Peter Obi coming out to vie for this position. And then
It's simple. He's a threat to them. Listen,
honestly,
they just can't believe that a man with Peter Obi's value can exist in our Nigerian politics of today. His name alone, his name is like a mirror that they see their guilt in his name. So when he talks, it reminds them, this way you want to hear the lies you want to believe, and someone is telling you the truth, it pinches. That's what Peter Obi brings to them. Because you can imagine if they can find a guilt on Peter Obi by now, oh my goodness.
It would have been all over the places.
Even the fake, when they did body double on Peter Obi, it didn't work. If they have anything on, imagine if Festus Keyamo and Co can find anything on Peter Obi today. So for such a man that is with them, but can be corrupted by them. They can't believe that he's in mainstream.
He's pulling this weight. Yeah.
That he's in mainstream politics with them. Yet the stench of their corruption, double life, is not influencing him, it's not affecting him. They can't believe it. It's so hard for them to believe. That is it.
Yeah,
So,
that is it. Honestly, they really see Peter Obi as a very big threat to them. Atiku came out and made his own press conference. Nobody said anything. Everywhere was quiet. But immediately Peter Obi came out, it became something else. So they've got something to hide, and it will just be better for them to come out and make bare whatever they are trying to hide. So, guys, yeah, this is what we have for you today. Please, we just hope that the Supreme Court will save Nigeria. There was this video I was supposed to play about Akpabio. One of the senators was even challenging him on the floor of the Senate that why is it that they bring bills and they want them to pass that bill fast, even bills that are very sensitive, even bills that has to do with money and so many other sensitive matter. They will bring it to the floor of the Senate. They won't even give them information on time, and they want them to speedily pass those bills. I mean, a senator was accusing the Senate president. So
I told you, I said it here. I told you there's no need diving into Atiku's dungeon now. But I said it day before yesterday during our show that Atiku is the beneficiary of this whole mess in Nigerian politics today, because the presidency and the executive is so vulnerable, so illegitimate in the minds of people. And so, no, who do I say? Akpabio, yes. So Akpabio is having a field day, enjoying himself, raking up and doing whatever. But the summary of the whole thing is simple. The politicians don't care. All these things we are bothered about. Do you know how much a naira is trading today? A naira is trading almost $1,100 today. For a pound traded this evening, 1,230 a pound traded this evening. Do they care? Does it concern them? They will use government money to send their own children, put them in hostels. I remember one from the north then who married the third wife, and his third wife was a 15-year-old who was still in college. He brought her here, bought a house, put her in the house. I've forgotten his name. Put her in a house, a college girl. A college girl. Do you know what it means in central London? All right? So that is it. Now, was it not our president, Tinubu's son, that is using the presidential jet, burning aviation fuel, using all the DSS security and all of them? And then he's flying to go and watch a polo match with presidential jets. They don't care. Do they really care? They don't. They don't